From the Watergate building in Washington, this is Hotline TV. Now here are Hotline editors Amy Walter and John Mercurio.
Hi everybody, welcome to Hotline TV. I'm John Mercurio.
Oh, I'm Amy Walter. Well, Democrats debated South Carolina last night, and I must say, it's about time these candidates started throwing some punches. So, we have a bunch of clips. We got some popcorn?
Yeah.
Let's sit back, see what happened.
Sure.
What you just repeated here today is patent. Wait, no, Hillary, you just spoke.
I did not say anything about Ronald Reagan. You said two things. You talked about admiring Ronald Reagan, and you talked about the ideas of the Republicans. I didn't talk about Ronald Reagan.
Because while I was working on those streets, watching those folks see their jobs shipped overseas, you were a corporate lawyer sitting on the board of Walmart.
I was fighting against those ideas when you were practicing law and representing your contributor, Resco, in his slum landlord business in inner city Chicago.
All right, so what do you think about that?
Hillary got a bad response in the audience when she talked about the inner city Chicago slumlord, but obviously she wasn't playing to that group. She was playing to a much wider audience outside of that debate hall. They think they're going to get a lot of traction out of this Reagan thing, and she was actually sort of stretching her description of what exactly he did say. If you look at the clip of him in this Reno newspaper editorial meeting, he didn't exactly say that the Republican ideas were good. But look, it's working for her, and she's going to keep doing it.
Yeah, I mean, I think her turf is, to use sports metaphor,
Please.
I know we're not supposed to do that,
I
but
love a good sports metaphor, nothing like it.
the muddier the field, the stronger she plays. That's what she's hoping. Now, have we really gotten to the place Barack Obama believes we have, where people are sick and tired of it? The more that this turns personal, she looks bad, right? That if it's about policy, if it's about issue distinctions, that's helpful for her. When it's about things like slumlords, looks like she's stretching it, that's not going to help her as much.
Right.
All right, next clip.
Next clip.
This kind of squabbling, how many children is this going to get health care? How many people are going to get an education from this? How many kids are going to be able to go to college because of this?
This is sort of Debates 101. What did you think?
He 101 exactly, in that he is now trying to rise above it all. The question in my mind is it too late for him, right? Have voters already said he's not part of the equation anymore, we're making the choice between Hillary and Obama, and he's just sort of, in the background. But the reality is, we know that South Carolina should be a good place for him. He can make some inroads. And the bigger question in my mind is, how much longer through February 5th can he stay on, siphoning votes from one or the other? I just can't quite figure out, based on what happened in this debate, who he would hurt more.
Well, I think ultimately he hurts Hillary Clinton more, and I think that's why she's benefited. That's why she won Nevada, frankly, because his campaign completely imploded in the Nevada caucus. But look, this was a very, very good night for Edwards. I thought it was probably his best debate that I've seen so far. But it was just debating 101. You see two people fighting, you step aside, you rise above, and you sort of castigate them, and he's been doing that all day today as well. So we got to move on, though. Let's move on to the very next clip.
In the Illinois State Senate, Senator Obama voted 130 times present. That's not yes, that's not no, that's maybe. And on issue after issue that really were hard to explain or understand, voted present.
So did Obama really want to go there with this vote?
The Obama campaign has not figured out a way to respond on this story. I think I've always thought it was a sleeper story. The New York Times ran an article about this on their front page about a month and a half ago. It didn't pick up a lot of press. Still, over the past 6 weeks, they haven't figured out a way to describe it beyond saying it's sort of this tradition in the Illinois legislature that if you are in a competitive district, that you can pass your vote on and you can vote present. And he sounds very technical. He sounds like a technocrat. He doesn't sound like the sort of bold
this isn't an
leader.
outsider. This is somebody who's an insider, Paul.
Right, exactly. In Chicago, which is not something that he wants to portray himself.
And I also think it gets to the heart of this question of judgment, right? This is what he's trying to make the distinction between experience and judgment, that she may have the experience but she doesn't have the judgment. Well, on both of these, he looks like he has neither, whether it was on the bankruptcy bill, right? Where we're talking about who's fighting for what limits, where he's talking about also about healthcare and who's requiring mandates and who's not. It really gets to the heart, I think, of a bigger problem for Obama, which is not when it gets off of change and his other bailiwick. Right. This is a tougher place for him.
All right, we got one last clip for everybody today.
Do you think Bill Clinton was our first black president?
Well, I would have to, investigate more, Bill's dancing abilities and, some of this other stuff before I accurately judged whether he was in fact a brother. But
White men can't dance, Amy.
You know what? The one thing Barack Obama can do much better than Hillary Clinton is transition from attack to a more comfortable, looking more real. And
Right.
she's never able to do that very well. I mean, the bottom line is, when she tries to be funny, for a little while we had, I'm going to laugh more. That really didn't go anywhere. We've had the cry moment. We haven't seen that again. So he does emotion better. He's much more comfortable with himself.
Right.
But I don't know if there's anything more.
Can I make a
No.
personal plea to the mainstream media? Maya Angelou, 20 years ago, or however long
It was
ago.
Toni Morrison who made that
Oh,
comment.
I'm so sorry. Toni Morrison, 16 years ago, said that Bill Clinton was America's first president. She wasn't being serious. She was joking. Can we all sort of move beyond this stupid one-liner that somebody one time used about Bill Clinton? He wasn't the first black president. It's sort of for the media to constantly, it is one of the most tired old saws, no offense to Toni Morrison, that I've ever heard. And I really think that we can all sort of, can we all just move on? That's what I'm trying to say.
Okay, I will just say one thing.
Yeah.
He has a base within the African American
Sure,
community.
that's not
real.
deniable. I'm
Okay.
not denying that at all. What I'm saying is that line has
Right,
sort of
it's
run
sort
its
of-
course.
agree,
It is a very,
agree,
very
okay.
tired line. But we,
So have we.
really run
Yeah.
our course as well today too. We are running out of time.
All right, but make sure to catch us back here tomorrow on Hotline TV.